What's going on, guys? Spencer Clays here, and today I was going to do a podcast episode because I actually have a podcast, if you guys didn't know, where I just basically just spout nonsense or whatever comes to my mind for about 15 minutes. It's awesome. Totally check it out. But today's podcast was more applicable to video because I still think video is one of the most powerful ways for me to communicate something directly to you because I can look at you and speak to you. So with that being said, today's episode is called The Fallacy of Freedom. And this kind of came up because I was actually just in New York this last weekend. I was flying back, not to mention there's fucking ads everywhere. Like if you're even on the plane, there's the ads that pop up for you. So that's another thing that was God, we're literally just these little ants just traveling around. But what popped into my head was so there's this actress Awkwafina. She's cool. She's in Crazy Rich Asians. She's got some new show. It's Anne from Queens or something. And I think I saw her in another movie, and I think she lives in Utah or something. And so now she had to move all the way to Queens to film this, or in LA. And I think everyone has this idea of freedom. And I think even for famous, successful actors, they really have no freedom. They're literally just, whenever someone hires them, they have to go to New York, or have to go to LA. Even me, I had to go all the way to New York for some business stuff. And it was awesome, made some money. But, it's still, you're not free. Because I think for me, at least, and hopefully for you guys listening to this show, freedom is really the number one. Business is great, money is great, all this stuff is awesome. But I think for me, I've said before, I'd rather make less money but be free than making a lot more money and be tied to a job or something. Because I've had a lot of jobs, especially I've been in the military as well, where you're literally just one step above prison as far as freedom goes. Not saying that it's bad or anything like that, because there's certain just instances where having less freedom can be good because you have a little bit more security. But that is the whole dynamic, is freedom versus security. You really have to decide which one of these things is really important to you. Are you able to take risks, and do you just value your time and your freedom more? Then you are going to be the more type who's going to be listening to this show. You're more entrepreneurial. That's a hard word. So, bear with me on this podcast where we try and speak cool words. So, with that being said, what was the other thing? So yeah, we talked about freedom. And the next one is obviously security. So if you're more security driven, you don't like taking risks. You'd rather have a safe and secure job, which there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to come on here and be oh, this is right, this is wrong. But just keep in mind, everything you think of in life, we think of oh, when I have a lot of money, I can do whatever I want. Or when I have a good job, I can do whatever I want. Or if I was a famous actor, I could do whatever I wanted. It's no, that's a fallacy. Because even this famous actress, she had to move wherever hires her. When you're an actor or something, you can't say certain things. You couldn't say some of the things that I'm saying right now if I was relying on some sort of contract or some sort of movie company where they're oh, you have to say certain things. You can't have these certain ideas. You're literally part of the system. You're part of the whole thing, all the corporations and stuff. And if you say something that they don't like, they can boot you. Anything you say, you just have to keep in mind. Someone above you, if they can control what you say, then you're really not as free as you think. And obviously, none of us are completely 100% free. You never will be, because there's always going to be other powers that be. But we're not going to go into too much into that today. I just want to leave you with challenge your thinking a little bit on the fact that you see all these people on Instagram, on social media, where they're driving these nice cars, they're on the beach and all this stuff, and it's cool, but I just 99.999% of those people are not free. They're just on a little tiny vacation. Someone still owns them. They are owned by another company or by their boss or whatnot. That's just how it is. And unless you are the 100% owner of your own business, like I am, then you are not free. I could wake up, I do whatever I want. I'm spouting on this video right now. I can do whatever I want. I'm going to go out. I choose to go work. I choose to go clean roofs and stuff because it's part of my business. I'm working on hiring people right now. But a lot of people don't get that. They don't get that oh, well, you have a job too. You're not free. Well, we're never going to be able to do whatever the fuck you want. And plus, working is a whole nother subject. I think, work isn't supposed to be always fun and comfortable. Going to the gym, you're supposed to be killing yourself in the gym. You're supposed to be I don't want to do it. Like when you're squatting, it's like, that next set is going to hurt, but you do it anyways because it's going to be hard and it's going to make you fucking grow. That's the whole reason why you do it. So people get this idea that like, oh, you have to work still, like you're not free. Well, I am fucking free because I can still choose to not go to work if I wanted to. You get that? You see like the little distinction there? I don't have to go. If I wanted to cancel all the jobs for this week, I could. I could just call all the customers and be like, hey, I'm not coming. Or just not show up. Nothing's going to happen because I can go get more clients because I have that skill. I've built a business where I know how to make money and do all that sort of stuff. So that is super important. So I think the really big takeaway from this video is just when you're looking at your role models, just really, and if your goal is freedom, if your goal is to just be able to say fuck you to whoever, you should really be looking at the people you admire with a little bit of a lens. You got to see if they're actually, if they're owned by somebody or if they're not, if they're actually free. And because that was kind of a weird revelation to me, like thinking of, oh, even an actor, an actress, like they are owned. They have to travel and they have to like go live in another city that they don't necessarily want to live in order to make money. Like they don't really have a choice, which I mean, they do have, everyone always has a choice. That's the other thing. Even when I was in the military, you always have a choice. You can either agree with the orders or you can disagree. I mean, if you disagree, think bad things are going to happen. Not saying you should do that, but I mean, you always do have a choice. So never forget that, guys. You always have, we only go along with other people's plans because we're worried that, bad things are going to happen or we're scared of the future. We want to keep this paycheck and we're worried if we say something that, bad things are going to happen. So the point is having your own business solves most of those problems because you don't really have to worry about anyone or any one thing affecting you. Like if something really bad could happen, like I could lose certain platforms or whatnot, and I would still go out and I would still be able to make money at cleaning roofs. Like that's something that I'm rock solidly sure in. I'm not worried about. Like I think most people do not have that foundation where they know they could go out and make money. Like most people are terrified that if they lost their job today, they would be fucked. They would have no idea what to do. And that is not my goal for you, my friend. I want you to have your own business where you can do whatever the fuck you want, make that fuck you money. Because I mean, and obviously right now, like this is just step one. I'm still transitioning to step two as it is. I have a little philosophy that I'm going to be coming out with a little bit soon. But basically, step one is, make money. You need to start making money. That is the first step. You need money coming in. Step two is you need to scale yourself or scale your business. So if you're doing what I do, it's home service, and you're cleaning roofs, like you can't clean that many roofs. Like you need to either hire people or you can do option door number two, which is you can just scale online. You take your extra money and time that you use from cleaning roofs and you invest it into online business. So that's kind of what I did. I was like, I don't really want to have a massive company where I'm cleaning roofs and have 10 trucks out there. I mean, we might, but as of right now, I'm like, well, shit, why don't I just take my extra time? If I go clean one roof a day, make $400, $500 a day, and then I have the rest of the entire day to do whatever. I was like, why don't I start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, start making TikTok videos, Instagram, all that sort of stuff. And it has, it has taken off because I've actually come on here with the same fire and passion that I did with my other businesses, and it's working. I mean, you just, like, if you guys have seen what I've done, duplicate it. If you want to make content, awesome. Like, pursue content. If you want to, pursue the business, if you want to have 10 trucks, that's fucking awesome too. But just keep in mind, like, nothing is truly passive. Like, I think that's another thing that people get really wrong, is nothing is passive. Like, I still have to make videos every single day. I still have to work every single day. Like, yeah, I have videos that make me money that I don't have to work. I have my books and products and stuff that I did once, but I like to think of it as non-active income, or like residual income is another good word. You do the work once and then it pays you for a set amount of time, usually not forever. I mean, I don't know. None of us are going to be here forever, so it doesn't really matter. But anyways, guys, start making money. Step one. Step two, scale it. We'll talk a little bit more about this in other videos in the future. But I just want everyone to know that, not everyone is out there that you see is free. Just because they're making lots of money, they still have, people that they have to, like, submit to, like, for lack of a better term. My goal is to just not be anyone's slave. My goal is eventually to buy, like, a bunch of fucking land and just live out there, probably build a nice house or whatever. But, have my own land, have my own little fortress. That's another topic we could go on to. Like, I was just in the city, like New York City. It's awesome. It's fun. I could see why people do it. But also I was like, how the fuck can anyone live here forever? Like, I could not do it. I could not live in the city. The city, I just feel like one of the millions of little insects just walking around. You're a little insect. You're just like stumbling around. You got to go to your meetings and all this. And you got like, you're living in a cramped little apartment for like, it's insane. I was like, the real rich people, they have their own land. They have their own house. They have their own fortress. That is what having money and power is about, and freedom. Not being in the city where you're cramped, like smelling other people's farts and stuck in this little tiny container where if anything goes wrong, like you're going to have millions of people losing their shit. And I don't know. The city is not for me. So anyways, guys, choose freedom, seek after it. Let's go.
Thanks for tuning in to the Spencer Clay Show. That's all for now. See you in the next episode. Peace.